Welcome back to more Lord of the Rings Online. In the last episode, the city of Langhold was attacked by Easterlings and brigands and a fell beast of Mordor. Not good. We managed to escape with Dala. Some of the women and children managed to escape as well. Let's see what's going on.
What brings you to these lands?
It is over, Kippen. Langhold is naught but smoldering wood and ashes now. I will make for Harwick to see to the women and children there and give aid to the survivors, for that is my duty. Let's see if any of these are actually good. Yeah, probably not.
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
It is all over. If you wish to go and see if anything is left of Langhold, I will not stop you, but my heart cannot bear it. I make for Harwick, where I hope to be of use to my Thane's family. Perhaps I shall see you there, Kippen. I will not forget the good you did for us, while Langhold still stood strong. Alright, quite sad. But let me scout parts of Langhold and see what the city is looking like. Does appear to be on fire. The view into the town from the north gate is grim. You do not see or hear any signs of people in the center of town. The mead hall is locked for good. There is no more Thane in Langhold. So now I must search for their family in Harwick, which I guess is over here. Alright. So let me go down there and vector into the next region. Virtue cap reached. 1 second, let me switch which one I am getting. My determination, that one, loyalty, valor, and wit. I guess I can get wit. Try to bring that up to 42. So you can see the next town here in the distance. It's much larger in scale. Very large, actually. Here's Harwick, and you can see it's got its own map just because it is quite massive, so.
Welcome and well met, my friend.
Halt, stranger. What is your business here? Explain to the guard that you seek Killen, wife of the late Thane of Langhold, and bring news to the Thane of Harwick that war has begun in the wold. Indeed, you may enter then. Killen is at the stables tending to Uhtred's war steed. You bear grievous tidings of our neighbor's fate. The guard directs you to the stables where Killen tends to the war steeds of her late husband.
Hail, friend. May I have a moment of your time?
Ha! What a nice little steed you ride. Nothing like our own horses, but a nice little steed just the same. Though if you are to ride alongside our warriors upon the plains of Rohan, you must learn how to fight from horseback as well. Our steeds are not so gentle-bred as those of the north. They are stronger, yes, but they are also more willful and difficult to handle. I have asked one of our finest riding instructors to teach you the ways of handling a steed of the Rohirrim. You will find Sioka at the tourney field south of Harwick. First, though, you should look into getting a steed. Go and learn all you can from him, and good luck, Kippen. So this is going to introduce us to a new mechanic in the Lord of the Rings Online. Well, not new, but new to this playthrough, I guess, is the war steeds. So you can do mounted combat and all sorts of other stuff. You can level up your steeds and your bridles that you put on them. Kind of like a weapon. Okay. All that being said, let me talk with Killen.
Will you aid the horse lords?
Dear Kippen, I am glad another has made it here alive. We saw the smoke, and brave guards from Harwick already rode forth and scouted to return with the news. My husband. Killen does not meet your eyes as she stares only at her husband's war steed. It is clear that she is numb from the shock of the news of her husband's death. This deed is for you. Uhtred will not need him now. Consider him a gift for all that you did for us, my valiant friend. So there we go. We got our war steed. And honestly, I don't really remember how to use them, but I think we'll get a little mini tutorial here.
Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us?
A cheeky little boy from Langhold boasted to me that your valor against the salamanders troubling that town before it was seized. Now that you have a proper steed, I have a task for you if you wish it. We have had reports of salamanders behaving strangely over in the bog where the marish flies have settled in. The salamanders once fed on the flies, but lately we have seen flies taking over. The salamanders are acting unlike themselves. Will you destroy the crazed salamanders? They cannot be good for the health of the plains near Harwick.
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
You are the stranger from Langhold, are you? A terrible shame about what happened to those poor folk. Harding has set them up outside the town, a little camp with some guards, but Killen wanted to tend to her husband's steed. I see she gave the horse to you, though. The Mount of Rohan are magnificent, are they not? If you want to take him out for a ride, there are some treacherous marshes not far from here. All the horses would rest better were you to kill off those noisy pests. Okay, so let me talk with this guy too. Why did my music go away? I hate when the music stops. Sometimes if you just do that and that, sometimes it works. Not always. Anyways. So, you wish to be trained in the ways of riding a horse of war, eh? Well, you've come to the right place. I've trained hundreds of riders over the years, though few as experienced in battle as yourself, I must admit. Come then, let us begin. Oh man, there's gonna be a lot of stuff here. Alright, give me 1 second. Alright, I'm back. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was recording very late at night, and then I realized that I was gonna have to do this introduction to the War Steed, and it's very involved. There's a lot of stuff. So, I went to bed, and it's a brand new day after that little edit that I just did. And so now I'm ready to actually go over all of this. So let me talk with Sioka. So, how do I mount my War Steed?
These lands.
Well, I don't know if I actually want to read all this, honestly, because we'll just kind of talk about all of these sort of things as we go through it.
Our mission is dire.
Greetings, Kippen. I see you've earned yourself a fine steed of Rohan on which to ride forth. Finely done. Yet steel yourself well, for this is no quiet mare, but a noble mount, trained to be in the ways of war. You'll find them spirited, and in some ways more difficult to ride than your prior mounts, but you will find that they possess the strength and stamina to do battle. Okay, Kippen, mount up on your War Steed here, and let's get started. Alright, so the War Steed is a system that they try to implement with this Riders of Rohan expansion, in which you could use them to have mounted combat. And so there are some advantages and disadvantages to a War Steed compared to your regular mounts that you usually have. The advantages are that you can go a whole lot faster on a War Steed if you trade it for speed, so that's really good. The other thing is that you can do combat from it, so you can use skills. Your mount is going to be a lot more durable, so you can run through a massive enemies and hopefully not get knocked off as you normally would on your normal steed. Some of the disadvantages are that it's a lot harder to control. It's harder to make turns, it's harder to slow down, so let's say you're going full speed, and then there's a sharp bridge to your right, you may go flying into the water just because it's a little bit more difficult to control. And so, those are some of the things that are involved with this. In general, I gotta be upfront with you guys, this was a failed system. The player base did not like this at all, and they basically kind of abandoned it for the most part, and realized that it wasn't a very good system, but a lot of people still use the War Steeds to quickly maneuver from point A to point B when there are giant open plains, but in a map in which there are more obstacles and finer turns required, it may be best to just use your regular steed. Okay, so it told me to get on my mount here, but honestly, it's been so long since I've used a war steed that I don't remember. Here we go. So it is here on my mount, and I got my medium war steed, and so I guess let me put him right here for now. So there's a light, a medium, and a heavy variety. Okay. Now, give me 2 circuits on the track. Take it slow as you like while you get used to it. So you've mounted your war steed, and then, of course, there is this panel here for the war steed. So let me actually move it. I think maybe over here will be best. Okay. And so you can see that I'm standing still here, and basically, if I hold forward, I start gaining momentum with it. And I can't really express this to you guys, but it is a little bit more awkward to control. It's not terrible, though. But it's faster than my regular mount, which is great. So just kind of trying to get used to running around the track here. Now, I can't strafe left or right, which is kind of interesting. And now I'm not even holding my forward key anymore, since it's already at full speed. However, if I hold S, I can kind of slow it down, as you can see. So, it's pretty nice. Stop. That is fine. Come with me, and we'll start the next course of work. So, especially when you're trying to move slow, it's kind of difficult to move, like, just a little bit. It's kind of awkward.
What brings you to these lands?
Right. Easy, isn't it? Well, now we'll make things a bit more interesting. Next up, the flag course. The course is not timed, but if you miss a flag, the flag count will restart on the next lap. If you find the flags are too closely spaced to pass through at full speed, try slowing down a bit, and using the mouse to turn allows finer control than the keyboard. Okay, here we have set up a series of flags along the course this time. You must ride through each set of flags as you ride around the track. If you miss a flag, don't worry, just continue around the track and we will start again. Line up and begin whenever you're ready. Whoa, that was really weird. I don't know why I like strafed outside of the flags. I really didn't like move my mouse much at all. But anyways, let me try to get used to this. I guess you can't turn your mouse too quickly, or you kind of go flying sideways a little bit, which is a little weird. Good work. Keep moving. So now they look to be a little bit more narrow. Excellent. Great. Oh, so now I gotta do all of these. Alright, so I'm definitely gonna have to slow down for this one, or I'm not gonna make it. So I can kind of cut down my speed a little bit. I'm gonna cut it to that 13.5. That might make it a little bit more manageable. See, that's the tricky one. I think that counted, though. Or maybe not. Yeah, way too bad. That's the spirit. You have the hang of the flags now. Well, I can't say I actually passed through all of them, but that's alright. Come over here and we'll prepare you for the next course. Let's see.
Our mission is dire.
Well, if you could handle that, this next part should be a breeze, right? Time to work on jumping, Kippen. So far so good. Now for the jump trials. This is not so different from what you are used to on the northern horses. Just remember to slow down a bit if you're having trouble lining up your jumps. Line up and begin when you're ready. Alright, let me see if I can do all this. Oh my god. It is pretty awkward to control. I'm definitely gonna have to get used to it. Let's see. Keep going. I guess he didn't like that. So let me try again. Gonna slow down a little bit to 12.5 here. There we go. That ought to do it. Lap complete, and now looks like I gotta double up here. I don't know if that one counted, because usually you hear like a little click if it counts. Like that little click. I don't know if you guys can hear that. So I think I definitely missed one. You missed one, he says. Oh well, let me try again. I think it was that one that I missed. Alright. Very good. Enough. You have proven you can medal on riding course. Skippin', come over here. Oh man, it's so awkward. I'm definitely gonna have to get used to it. Oh man. Okay, anyways.
What brings you to these lands?
Okay, now we will work on your combat skills. Use the speed of your mount to keep you out of harm's way while delivering devastating attacks against your enemies. Now comes your combat training. When fighting from horseback, try to stay in motion. If you find yourself fighting from a standstill, you will be better on foot, but keeping yourself mobile works best to limit the enemy's opportunity to attack you. Just as importantly, as your mount races across the plains, its fury builds, enhancing its blows. Some of the most powerful combat skills may only be used when your mount's fury is near the peak. I have set up some target dummies at either end of the field to test your skills upon. You need to ride back and forth between them, striking each in turn. Now go, show me what you have. So you can see here on my skill bar, I have a lot of different skills. So, discipline increases the war steed's armor and healing. This is an assault. This is like a roar. So that has some healing abilities with it. Anyways, I'm not going to read through those or else you guys are just going to sit here kind of watching me do that. And I don't want to do that, so let me just kind of try to do this. There you go. So I attacked him. So that's interesting that that does a heal. So it's really not too bad. Doing some devastating attacks here. It is a little awkward, but kind of getting used to it, I guess. Now, at least in Rohan, there are certain parts that you definitely need to use the mounted combat. I think there... Wow, that is some lag right there. There are some mounted-only instances, if I remember correctly. I don't know what that attack was, but anyways. Looks like the dummy is gone. There's only one dummy left. Horse complete. Okay.
Will you aid the horse lords?
Excellent work, Kip, and it will take several years to truly master the art of mounted combat, but you are off to an excellent start. I think the battlefield shall teach you more now than I can, and time is short. I have many young riders yet to train this day. Good luck to you, Kip, and dark times are upon us, and I hope to see you at the forefront of our efforts to drive them back. Alright.
What brings you to these lands?
You're ready now, Kip, and your skills in battle are already formidable. With one of our finest steeds beneath you, you shall be undefeatable. Trust in your mount and in your valor, and your banner shall wave above all the fields as a beacon of hope for all free peoples of Middle-earth. Now I believe you should speak with the Thane of Harwick before you proceed further. Much is afoot in our lands, and it would be best if you made your presence known to our local lord. Okay. Very good. So, you know, in a landscape like this where you're inside a city, it may be best to not use your war steed, and in fact just use your regular mount. But I am going to try and maneuver here. And similar to Langhold, you know, you got the town and then you got the mead hall here at the top. I completely already kind of missed the little path here. Alright, let me talk to this guy.
Greetings, friend of the Rohirrim.
You seek audience with the Thane? Well, I'll see what I can do for you, but he has not been in a sociable mood as of late. So, you can see that there are also bridles, and your steed levels up, but your bridle also levels up. And so they're two kind of independent things, and if you're on a medium horse, you don't necessarily need a medium bridle and so on, but I'm probably going to go with a light war horse just because it can get the most speed, and that's really all I plan on, in the long term at least, using the war steed for is just faster movement, so I'm going to go with light. Okay, war steed leveling. Your war steed leveled up. Each time your war steed levels, you gain a trait point that you can spend to improve or enhance your war steed. Now, I did absolutely forget how to access that panel. The war steed panel. Let me see. Maybe somewhere here? Mounted combat. Shift M. There you go. So, level 2. The War Steed trait panel allows you to spend your trait points to improve the abilities of your steed. You can create several different preset War Steed trait configurations for different situations. So, let's see, skills. You can do cosmetic stuff with your mount as well, but I want to go into the light trait tree. Now, I'm trying to remember how I can get a light war steed, because that's really what I want. And I want to be able to use agility, that way it's easier for me to maneuver. So that's what I'm going to apply for now. So I'll have to read up between this episode and the next on how to exchange my medium war steed for a light one, but anyways, let's go inside. It's a very nice mead hall. It's very beautiful in here.
We cannot wait for the darkness to abate. Rohan must rally.
I have not heard anything from Wildermore, the northernmost reaches of my realm, in some time. No man has come from there to trade, and no man who ventured there has returned. Silence is always the most troubling news to receive of a land in my domain. Will you ride north, Kippen, and see what there is to be seen? I grow worried for the people of Wildemore, where Garwig is Reeve in Forlaw. So this is going to be a vector quest into Wildemore, so as you can see, it's level 85. So this is a vector quest that I am not ready to do yet, so this is one that I'm going to tuck into the back of my quest log for a while. So let me actually take it off the tracker. Anyways, I thought I had to go in here, but I guess not. Let me go kill some salamanders, I suppose. So, yeah, let me call my war steed. Actually, let me see something. Yeah, it turned to light, and that must be because I put the traits into it. So I already have my light war steed. Okay, perfect. So let's go. And with that being said, let's go kill some salamanders. And you can see because I put a few points in agility, my max speed is now 15, which is nice. So yeah, for open areas like this, it is a lot easier to ride with this speed. Marsh flies infest the bogs around Harwick, making noise that disturbs the war steeds. The eccentric guard on the stable spoils his steeds and wishes for the noise to be silenced. Alright. Let me round a few of these up. Kill crazed salamanders and find the source of the buzzing noise. So what is this? Marsh reed. You have found the source of the noise, a large sicklefly nest. Great steeds are a pride of Harwick, and these horses feed only on the finest hay grasses and reeds. So I should be collecting some of these as well. That's cool. Let me kill some of these marsh flies. I don't know why it's been so laggy recently. It's very frustrating as a warden. I know I bring this up whenever there's lag, but I feel like warden is the most affected class by a server lag. That's because we rely on very quick skill input to build our gambits, and one little misclick, or if things get delayed by half a second, it throws off the entire gambit, and the whole thing goes to ruin. Usually not too bad though, usually we can recover. All right. Making good progress here, I would say. Okay, so I got all of those. Let me grab a reed here. And then I need to go kill some salamanders still. Let me get on my regular mount. It seems like calling your regular mount is a little bit faster as well than the war steed. There we go. Alright, let me go turn all these in. Well, I need to find the source of the salamander's strange behavior, actually. Which I guess is going to be that cave right there. Discovered a Dwulong hole. What are these? Are those whites? The source of the crazed behavior in the salamander seems to have something to do with the J.R.R coming out of the cave ahead. J.R.R have begun to spill from the north of a cave near the, or from the mouth of a cave near the spot where the salamanders show sign of corruption. The dead should be slain anew, for it is a bad sign when those who have passed walk the earth once more. Alright, so I guess I have to kill a few of these. The J.R.R of Dwulong Hole bear relics upon them that may be of interest to the people of Harwick. So let me actually go in the cave and see what's going on in there. There might be more quests inside. Looks like it's a pretty big place. I'm just gonna run a bit and then I'll stop once I've gathered up enough enemies. I'm wondering if I should venture deep in here or if I should just wait under the assumption that I'll have to come back here for a quest. I don't want to go too far, only to have to do it all over again. Although, let me grab all these guys here. Okay, I think I'm good. I think I'm not gonna spend too much time in here. Or actually, it's a little smaller than I anticipated, so let me just kind of go through and see what is here. Let's just explore it all, why not? Because if I don't need to come back here, it's gonna drive me crazy if I didn't explore the whole thing. Doesn't seem to be much. Okay, so there's not much here. Let's see. Maybe in the western portion of the cave. Let me go up here. Yeah, not much here either. Just gonna run instead of fighting them. And check out this one last little chamber. Ah, is this where I came from? Yes, it is. Alright. So let me finally ride back. Yeah, I think it definitely does take a little longer to summon the war steed. But there's definitely an improvement to the speed. You can see I'm moving a lot faster, which is nice. It's gonna make the series flow a little bit smoother, actually. If we're getting to where we gotta get a little quicker, you know? And hopefully it'll be easier to control as I improve the agility of this war steed. Although definitely in places like this, like the city for example, it's definitely tricky. And you know what? I'm like not wanting to deal with it. Let me just dismount. Let me get on my regular mount. That's probably the approach I'll take. On the open plains, I'll ride my war steed, but if I'm in a city, I'll just get on my regular mount. That seems appropriate.
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
So this is the Mounted Combat Tutorial Repeatable quest, which is a unique quest because I did the Mounted Combat Tutorial, not the Repeatable. So I'll figure out what to do with that because, again, it is a 100% playthrough. But I don't know.
What brings you to these lands?
You were very good to silence the noisemaker, Skippin. The horses would surely thank you if they could speak our tongue, but my thanks will have to do.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
Ah, marsh reeds. Thank you. These are for the horses' favorite food. Supposedly, it tastes sweet to them. I have tried it, and I can assure you that it does not taste sweet to me. Oh, well.
Will you aid the horse lords?
I do not recognize the symbols on the relics you collected from the J.R.R. They almost look to be of Dunlington quality, but I cannot tell for sure. Perhaps that tomb was from before the time of the Rohirrim. I will see that they get put into better hands than mine, for I am useless in such matters, but thank you for bringing them to me.
Will you aid the horse lords?
Did you enjoy besting those flies with your new war steed? Riding these great mounts takes some getting used to, but they are strong. I would imagine those flies did not give you too much trouble, though they are a handful for a man on foot.
Will you aid the horse lords?
J.R.R. walk in Dulong Hole? It cannot be. That cave has been quiet for as long as I can remember. I used to play there as a boy. No creature save the living ever stirred in that tomb. I hope your valiant effort against the J.R.R. put a stop to the spread of their corruption. I shall record this in my next report to Harding, for we will need to keep a close watch on the Dulong Hole now. Alright, very good. So I got all that. So I think what I'll do is I'll end the episode here, but I will fast forward me doing this repeatable quest, which is going to be the quest I did towards the beginning of this episode anyway, so I don't think there's a point in me. I mean, if it was a more smooth quest, I'd do it, but it's just riding around, you know, so I'll fast forward that just for the sake of actually being 100%, but I'll see you guys on the next episode.
Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us? What brings you to these lands? What business have you with the Rohirrim? What brings you to these lands? Our mission is dire. What business have you with the Rohirrim? What brings you to these lands?